game.
5 weeks have passed since Dorking's defeat at the hands of a rampant Wrexham side, and we're heading north to Altrincham, the home of Altrincham. The gap in filming is due to the bunch of amateurs team getting married, a union that required 2 stag do's, a wedding and a honeymoon. Much to our, and obviously Marc's, frustration, the absence was ill-timed, for Dorking went on their best run of the season so far. The initial victory over Barnet saw them keep a clean sheet for the first time this season, and a few days later they became the first side to defeat title contenders Notts County, as James McShane buried a hat-trick with 2 late goals in front of the home crowd. McShane was also on the score sheet as Dorking put 5 goals past Dagenham and Redbridge for the Wanderers' biggest win of the season so far. A midweek draw at Yeovil followed, and thus the runners left Marc White's side in a comfortable mid-table position, with a cushion between them and the relegation zone, and not too big a gap to the mythical land of the playoffs. However, Altringham's league position down in that dreaded zone may be misleading. They're a side that plays expansive on-the-deck football, and after a long journey north, Dorking will need to be on their game if they're to take anything away from a ground situated a dozen miles from the Premier Manchester clubs. A fixture of non-league football for their entire existence, Altrincham have on numerous occasions attempted to gain election to the Football League, only to lose out to Wimbledon, Halifax twice and Rochdale. The latter election was especially heartbreaking given that, had the Luton representative turned up on time and the Grimsby rep been standing in a different part of the room, they would have been promoted. No, we don't really understand that. Promoted back to the National League in 2020, after a decade in the National League North, Altrincham have only just gone professional for the first time in their history, so staying in the division is a must. And now they face a Dorking side full of self-belief that's still looking for their first away win north of the M25. So it's about time that bunch of amateurs finally caught up once again with Marc and the Dorking boys.
It's been relatively textbook really. We sort of learnt quickly on the job, had our asses handed to us on a plate a couple of times, and then we started dishing out a few back. You know, obviously the benefit of keeping boys together is that it hurts them more when you get beat. We've got a really good bunch of lads, do you know what I mean? And we had a couple of games where we literally had 70% possession and conceded 9 goals, which is just unheard of. So we sort of worked on being better in both boxes, but above everything, it's all good and well for managers to sit there going, oh, we've worked on this, we've worked on that. Most of these managers just, you know, they're wank and they're just talking up their own prospects. In reality, our players have done a great job of, you know, showing no respect really to the division, the players, and really understanding that they've got to really put a shift in. So, and we've had some great moments already. We've had some great moments. We've beat Notts County, Barnet, you know, Dagenham and Redbridge in our first 10, 11 games. It's all good stuff really, mate, and we're playing better every week. In this league, playing well don't guarantee anything at all. Just trying to improve as we go along. We've brought in a boy Bauman. I think it's a big signing for us. You're going to love him, Rich. He's a fucking box office player. He's a left-sided Briggs, really, to be honest. And obviously we lost Alfie, so I felt like we had to add goals into the team. So it's been part strategy, and the players, you know, making sure they give a fuck as well, and they have done. Do you know what I mean? You look like being a fucking fire. You all right? What's wrong with you? Well, it don't look all right to me. Fuck me. Fucking London's burning. What's wrong with him? You've played the game, what's wrong with him? So it's not just what we do during the 90 or the 95, it's also how quickly you get your heads into the fact that we're at Altrincham in a very big league to get a result and go home going, what a great side we are. We're playing really well. All it takes is one of your teammates to start not switching on, enjoying the day trip a bit too much, and then the tone goes down, the thinking goes down. So I'm looking for the likes of Sammy, Mac, who's got the armband. I'm looking for you boys, Kennedy, Gallagher, the senior boys, to make sure we are really switched on here in this warm-up, because we've got plenty of time to prepare for the game, but not if we only start 15 minutes before we come in. They want to play football. They want to play football. Now, his only other formation could be 3-5-2. If it is, great news. We'll have an overload. We do it. That's our bread and butter. Like you saw the other night, and you're getting so good at adjusting. 2 teams now have gone 3-4-3 against us, and they've tried to go, right, Bosch, and then block Bobby, it was, against Yeovil. And then we've just had a 3v2 in midfield, which is why the other night we saw Niall or Josh getting on the ball, central areas, okay, yeah? I think they're going to play 4-2-3-1 because they've won 2 out of the last 3. And the only respect we should give these today is that stat. They've won 2 out of the last 3, and confidence is a lot in football. And Denaja, Dartford boy Marcus, Jebby's mate, he's scored 2 in the last 2, shoots on sight, good off the shoulder. This boy is very dangerous. They'll be dangerous with their movement, and Marcus has got great movement in these areas, and that's what he's going to try and do, poach goals. In terms of us, that's what it looked like playing out, yeah? So we're just going to go down Lincoln. We're going to try and play around the edges as quick as we can. Yep. We're going to try and push it round the edges into wingers, and then we'll have holding mids, if you like. This is a bit exaggerated, isn't it? We'll have holding mids, if you like, trying to get the ball just like we've done at training. Not even going to bore you with our factory setting, because I know the boys in there know this back to front. You are a very dangerous outfit, yeah? So we take the game to them. We're here for 3 points massively, but a clean sheet is key away from home to silence, won't be a massive crowd, but silence the ones that are here. All right, boys, get yourselves ready.
My name's John, I'm part of the ground staff. We volunteer 15-20 hours a week. We also do United games during midweek as well.
How long have you been in that for?
About 2 years now. I've been helping out since I retired from Royal Mail, and there's 5 of us all ground staff, and we're all volunteers.
I'm here because I think it's very, very, very important you support your local team, i.e. Altrincham. We often go to Rochdale matches, but I'm massively against the big money Premier League. I think it's so important that you support your grassroots football and the professional teams here, like here at Altrincham.
My name's Lewis Charles. I'm here to watch my friend who's an Altrincham player. So yeah, looking forward to the day.
I'm Phil Taylor, and I'm come to watch the game. I've been supporting him for 54 years, so never mind.
About 65 I started, and it was a Cheshire. We had a goal scorer called Jackie Swindles. He got 86 goals in one season, and that's never been achieved anywhere near now. Obviously, the crowds then used to get 6,000-7,000 for local derby, Whitton, Northwich, Macclesfield, but now the crowd's averaging about, say, just under 2,000 as we are now, because Altrincham have gone full time now.
Well, I saw a report in the Daily Mail this week that Erling Haaland is getting 900,000 a week. I just couldn't believe it. And this is the sort of money. It's just ridiculous. They want to feed that back down to teams like Altrincham, so they get better players and perform at a higher level. It's ridiculous, and how people can spend so much to go to those games. I mean, it's not cheap to come here, I must say. It's 40 odd quid for the 4 of us, Grandad, me and the 2 lads. It's £43 to get in, so it's not cheap. But I much prefer to spend my money that way than half a ticket at the Etihad, for instance.
It's just so different to the top level stuff. You feel like you belong, feel like you're part of the club. You know, you can build a relationship with the players even, that you wouldn't do at United and City and the like.
It's very family orientated. Families are always welcome, children, everybody's welcome to the ground. There's never any trouble. It's a brilliant little place to watch your football.
It's very much a family club, yeah, everyone here gets involved. Yeah, the fans love it, it's a really good atmosphere, yeah. So yeah, nice community feel to it.
Expectation is to finish just safe. I think I think we went full-time a year too soon. I think we should have gone hybrid because we've got a lot of young players and this is a very difficult league to play in. And we lost over 2,500 appearances at this level, but basically over the close season, so it's a big hole to fill.
Well, as long as you're not going to tell Dorking's manager, I can probably tell you we like to play the passing game. It's not a big oof to the, we like to play from the back, through midfield, to either wings, and hopefully we'll get a few goals today against Dorking, where Dorking, a bit of an unknown quantity really.
Well, they've got a good press, good high press, play with a lot of aggression, I think. Getting early, getting the faces. Yeah, hopefully after a good result.
I'll take a point. Yeah. So I suppose I'm expecting a point, shall we say.
Okay. Do you know much about the opposition today?
I've never seen them, but I've read the non-league paper reviews and seen the results. So they're clearly not a bad side. I believe they're a footballing team rather than a kick it and run after it team.
Well, they play an attractive brand of football. They get it in the box quite a lot, but they do retain it as well. So it's a bit mixed, really. And I think that's fascinating to see what sort of tactics they come up with.
Yeah, the Notts County game was superb. I mean, perhaps a little bit of a burglary, but I mean, it's a scalp, isn't it? And beating one of the top teams, one of the promotion candidates, and beating them 3-1 at home. Everyone went home happy. McShane obviously got a hat-trick, and I think obviously a few people took notice after that, and I see we get mentioned quite a lot on social media, mainly for winning that game when Notts County fans start talking about their promotion credentials and speaking to Wrexham fans and Chesterfield fans that, both of those teams came to Meadowbank and one drew and one beat us 5-0. So I think to get that scalp was quite a big point for the club. Confidence builder as well for the weeks ahead.
Right, I better talk to them about how we're going to press that then. Set a B plan. Well, the boy coming in is a right wing back. So for a centre mid, I think John's worth asking. I've just asked him on the group. Lads, listen to me. Listen, I think they're going to be a 3-5-2, but we are going to press high, static, on the left. So 7 Bobby, if it's static, will go high, and then Dan and Dan will defend 2-on-2. If it's static, yeah? If they do that, yeah? Yeah, that's smart, mate. That's what we've said, basically. To be fair, we've done exactly that, prepared for both. That's where we are, really. They haven't really got any height at all, so they won't have a direct game, so that's interesting. Hold up play first and foremost, H, yeah? Hold it up, touch and play, yeah? Jimmy, mate, terrorise, yeah? I love the fact you're back, mate. We get someone that can score goals, assist goals. Don't forget, you've got Otts, you can whip it, Seeger, float it, Otts, score. I think they're free. I can see why they play that narrow bit. Now you're here. They're free tucking in, getting shots off. Big danger. I think we've got to defend them fucking well. They haven't warmed up defence then, no? That's another sign they'll be changing then. That's another sign they're probably changing. Loads of talking back there. I think that 4v4 is going to be a key part of the game. It's a pitch, I think, that encourages shots off. The crowd are close. So if someone's cutting inside, they're probably going to try and get a shot off. I think you just block, you keep them outside the box. Do you know what I'm saying? I think don't let people try and get in the box. If they're trying to get on their good foot, then they're trying to shoot. Do you know what I'm saying? Dan Quick, play your normal game. Okay, you'll be way too good for these. Play your normal game. Listen, he's as comfortable on his left as he is his right, but he's right-footed. The main thing for me is when he looks at you, you've already done him. What you lot have got to do, Bobby, back three, yeah, is keep them out the box and stop shots and crosses. Big time. Don't invite them in the box. Don't play too deep. When they're on the ball in high areas, I don't care where the ball goes, just win your tackles. I don't give a fuck. We're away from home. In 90 minutes, we're going to get a lot of chances down here, trust me, on this pitch. So just defend properly. Other end of the pitch, I think it's a shots off pitch all day long. Jimmy, Seb, Seeger, Otts, it's a shots off pitch. Midfielders in high areas, shots off. Shots off, okay? All I'm going to say is the basics. Away from home, don't give the ball away. Don't worry about the little dummies. Keep the ball, touch, play. Midfield, straight line running when it's there to run. If not, straight back out again. You don't really need me trying to be manager of the year here, because you lot are playing really well. You're playing really well. It's the basics. The 2 basics I'm looking for. Because I'm not worried about last third, because Dorking Wanderers are fucking terrific in the last third. I'm looking for man defending brilliantly. I'm looking to make sure we're tidy and keep the ball. It's those 2 combinations. So there's no turnover of play. Because turnover of play, man-for-man defending is not ideal. And you've always got to remember that as a midfielder. If you try 1 extra dribble or 1 extra man, just remember we're man-for-man today. Just keep the ball moving, right? You've outpassed every single team you've played. Every single team. They know that. When it goes dead, we take our time. We're the away team. We've got a long time to win this game, right? Long time. Okay, so man-for-man defending to be good. Keep the ball, shots off, yeah? We're playing really well, boys. Keep at it. Let's go, boys. Hey, come on. Let's fucking go. All the best, mate. Enjoy the game, mate.
It would very much seem that the home side are deploying a 4-2-3-1 formation, and that means a full press on Dorking. If they do it well, this is going to pose a big challenge to Wanderers' efforts to play out from the back.
Get Bob to drop. Bob.
Just 23, Carl. Yeah?
In the back line, oh yeah.
Push in the back. Tonkin down.
Take him on, Seb! Take him on!
New boy Seb Bowerman is more exciting than opening a Christmas present in 1984 and realising it's the Toy Millennium Falcon. He's literally the new signing that people will say Matt Briggs is like when Matt Briggs finally returns. James McShane accepts a typically ideal layoff from Harry Ottaway, but his low shot is tipped away by Oliver Byrne in the Altrincham goal. Dorking are on the hunt for crosses and half chances, and they're finding both. Since coming in after Alfie Rutherford's injury, Harry the Hot Dog Ottaway has been a key figure in Dorking's form, and he goes close to making it 1-0 just 5 minutes in. The opening gives Altrincham a jolt and they respond with a chance of their own. Ryan Colclough feeds danger man Marcus Dinang and he strikes at goal. Fortunately for Dorking, Dan Lincoln is sharp enough to block the efforts.
Run it! Run it!
It's an end-to-end game with Seb Bowerman leading the charge. Both teams are threatening with dangerous-looking crosses, and neither team can convert them.
He needs to mark 22.
Josh Taylor, get him told.
As the halfway is on, Altrincham begin to take a bit more control as Dorking struggle to find their front men. But Marc doesn't want his side playing into the press, because then the task becomes even harder.
Duke, they're going home to Dan Lincoln too much. One ball, Bob! Relax.
Ref! Yeah.
Footing!
He's offside.
Run it down! Make a note about playing back into the press, because we've played so many weeks against a back three, they keep going back to Dan.
The home side are creating chances and they're getting closer to finding that opening goal. The pressure is building and Chris Clark tees up Captain Malarkey for a golden opportunity.
Harry, good start!
When Chris Clark's own shot is deflected wide, it's not so much the subsequent corner that interests us, but Dan Gallagher's run-in with Ross Barrows. Dan goes for a quick finger bend, while Ross pulls a move straight out of the Zach from Charwood book of shithousery.
20, you see it, Fulf? You see that?
The referee clearly didn't see anything, and both players get away with their Chinese burn-level dark art moves. It's been a while since Dorking controlled the play, but once Dan Lincoln swipes the corner away, it gives Dorking the chance to get hold of the ball.
Turn! Forward, boys! Yes, Saints! Third. Bobby, come on! Bobby!
Macca, try and link it up.
Bobby!
Barrows is putting himself around the pitch, and his brush with Gallagher's hair may have tricked him into thinking that the hot dogs is soft enough to smack his head into, wrongly as it turns out.
Is he out cold?
Listen, get a goal before the half there. Listen, you're playing backwards too much. They're a full press today. I know we've been used to going home with the overload. Whenever you get a chance to roll it into a winger, just roll it into a winger, right? Okay? Radical's all right, don't over. If you need to, I'd rather that than go home. You don't need to go backwards in this game, unless it's going through centre midfield, which we've done well. Yeah? When we're under a bit of pressure, I need you to get louder. I need to hear you, I need to see you, because a lot of our pressure's been the second ball. It's been the second ball, because we're small in there. They look a bit bigger, so.
With half-time fast approaching, Barrows is staying on for now. It's his team that are looking the most likely to score before the break.
What? It should be. He's not going to hit by the back of his head.
He's centre half coming on, I think.
Is he playing on?
Defender Dan Quick misjudges a header, and Marcus Dinan gets in on the left with only Jimmy Mewitz for company. Jimmy thinks he managed to get a toe onto the ball, but the referee awards Altrincham a free kick in dangerous territory.
Don't head that. Why don't Quick head it?
With the Dorking box filled with potential targets, Ryan Clough ignores them all, and instead he clips his free kick off the underside of the crossbar and into the back of Dan Lincoln's net. The goal going in so close to half-time doesn't give Dorking much time to respond, but they give it a shot anyway. Bowerman's cross is edged wide, giving James McShane a chance to pick out the hot dog from the final corner of the half.
What can fucking the Haines do to score a goal?
Basically, lads, you've basically waited for them to score, basically. So I'm really angry about that. Really angry about it, okay? Dan, you don't want the ball back today. Why do you think that is? Okay, full press, isn't it? So if you're going to kick it, the bloke who's give it you may as well kick it. So when you go like that, don't ask for it. Don't ask for the ball. Unless you can see we've got a massive overload here. All you lot have got to do is roll the ball forward to the bloke in front, take your touches and play. That's all you've got to do. Right? That's all you've got to do. I think when we've been under pressure at the back, we've gone quiet, very quiet. It's not good enough. You have to be more aggressive. I think we've got to be more aggressive at the back. Right? Free kick comes, you misjudging it. Right? We've looked shaky at the back. What you do is when the going gets tough, you don't clench your arse cheeks and hope nothing happens. You get fucking better. You fucking step up what you're doing. Goalies should know we have to play and we have to play quick. If we're under pressure and we can't get out our own half, then automatically you should think we've got to play quicker. Because if you know it's coming back at you, that means the boys in front ain't having a great game. Which means when you get it, you're thinking, right, we have to. Bobby, when I get it next, fuck off. We've got to get our own half. They have played well in the areas they want to. They pressed us. The midfield winning the battle big time. And that's why you've had to fucking do what you've done. Right? All you've got to do is play into the last thirds. Ops and Seeger barely put a foot wrong. Jimmy last fucking 25, you got to touch on that for the free kick, didn't you? I see it. Yeah. Jimmy for the last 25, not put a foot wrong. Seb, last third is where you need to play. Right? So every time you go back to Dan, or every time you go long, okay, you've got to just go round the fucking edges. Or into Ops or Seeger. It's so easy. So easy. You get two ways of going in life. You step up to a scenario or you step away. And I'm telling you now at the back, you stepped away. Move your feet quicker. He's quick. He's sharp then. Don't gamble you've got the strength. Don't gamble. Because he is gambling on you slipping over. And he's gambling on that ref not giving it. Just get there. Fucking bang. Put him in a game then. Don't trust the bounce. Don't trust the game. Just win your battle early. Win it early with him. Fucking turn up. Come on. Come on.
Some people think we make this narration up on the spot. In fact, one person stopped us and said, "Why aren't you doing the voiceover now while we were filming?" And that's the true story. We were a bit bemused by that. The only bit we don't write is this bit, the bit about fcfootballkit.com, because we want it to come from the heart. Because that's how we feel about fcfootballkit.com. They're in our hearts. Hearts. We really like them. They make nice kits. Oh, God, it's obvious we don't write this now, isn't it? Well, we're looking at a Puma kit here for... Oh, God, this is falling apart. Buy fcfootballkit.com stuff if you need a new kit. The Wanderers would be happy to play it forwards, but first they'll need to get hold of the ball.
I fucking even stopped. No one's marking, bro. Why are we fucking marking?
Goal scorer Cole Clough lays the ball off for Elliot Osborne, and his top corner effort is tipped over by Dan Lincoln. The subsequent corner, however, brings Altrincham far more joy. Edward Jones drops a wicked ball into the 6-yard box where it ricochets off Dan Quick. Lincoln does well to recover, but Toby Malarkey reacts quickest and slams the ball into the roof of the net.
Let's go, mate. Yachts, Lappy.
Marc reacts by changing shape, which means bringing Samuel Abdon for Harry Ottaway and going 4 at the back.
Don't want to take you, I've got no choice. Got about 4.
Now that Dorking have an overload at the back, they're more at liberty to play the ball around in a manner that they're accustomed to. But as ever, the onus is on them to find a way to turn that possession into chances and chances into goals.
Look, keep an eye on Jimmy, yeah?
Dan, quick, take him away!
He thinks he's not struggling, but he's blowing a bit.
Open out, Dan, one ball, Jimmy.
And then go and help him, go and support him. Dan, quick! It's going to come your way, quickie!
Forward. Put one person in the box. He's round for, isn't he?
Dorking's change in shape has put them on top, but Aaron Bennett is causing problems down the Altrincham left, and things get even tougher for the Wanderers when an under-hits clearance lands at Bennett's talented feet.
Oh my days. Who done that?
The clearance is a gift for Bennett, who finds himself with plenty of time to prepare and then unleash a curler past Dan Lincoln from 22 yards. The game is beginning to look like a lost cause for Dorking, so it's to their credit that they keep pushing for a goal back. Altrincham seem happy to soak up the pressure, at least until Dan Quick delivers a quality ball towards the head of striker Samuel Abd.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Sammy nods the ball down and the Seagan Mega Drive turns it goalwards. Burn parries, but Dan Gallagher is on hand to drive it into the bottom corner, giving Dorking a chink of hope.
Go, Ginger. Boys! Let's go! Hey, let's go! Come on!
As was the case earlier in the season and up the road in Oldham, Dorking are looking for a late comeback. The arrival of Adam Meckie provides extra impetus as the boys from Surrey trust to the hope that had long since forsaken these lands.
Quality! Quality!
Set it up, set it up.
Sammy! Sammy! Target!
No, they're going to play.
Quality in!
For one there. Deliver.
Spin!
Straight lines.
Noel and Josh both out here.
Play the box, Noel! Play the box! Fair play to Seb. Fair play to Seb. He's fucking kept on going, mate.
2-1! Get it back in! Slip him in!
Good ball.
Oh, fucking hell! Oh, mate.
Meckie's inch-perfect cross finds opposite winger Seb Bowerman, but Seb can't direct the ball onto the target.
Good, boys!
Deliver! Deliver!
Better.
Mate, the minute we've given ourselves defensive overload and Sammy a proper defender, been a different game. Been a different game.
Marc's not wrong. The change in system has worked in Dorking's favour, but they've given themselves too much to do, and Altrincham are still keen to punish them further still. With 3 minutes to go, Bennett leads Gallagher on a merry dance, squaring for Dinanga, who taps home for a deserved goal and the final killer blow to the head of Dorking's day.
Fucking hell.
Cheers, down our place, mate. Cheers, lads. Well played, mate. Thank you, mate. Cheers. Well played. Great game, but you fucked for the first one. You'll see that. Thanks, mate. Cheers, mate. Cheers, Carl. Cheers, Keith. Well played, mate.
Although Dorking played well enough for Altrincham to give their keeper the Man of the Match award, Marc is aware the performance was not good enough. Certainly not for the fans who travelled 4 hours on the motorway to get to the match.
All the way over there. Go all the way over there. Don't fuck off. You've been shit enough. Get the fuck over there. Don't ever be half-hearted towards your fans who come up the motorway to see you lose 4-1. That's literally sackable. You fucking get over there. Right, they've come to watch you fucking get beat 4-1. Don't ever fucking wait for me to ask you. Listen. John the Bible would say, play these teams away from home and give yourself an overload. That's what he'd say. Yeah? So we'd say, give yourself an overload. Right, so obviously when Sammy went on and we gave ourselves an overload, obviously the game entirely changed, completely. So the possession from that, 52nd minute would be extremely high towards us, right? Because we gave ourselves an overload. So would I do that again? No, that's a mistake. I'll take that, okay? But I backed us, right? I backed us because we're good. And I backed us to play forward and I backed us to keep up that momentum. I didn't want to change formation off the back of dominating matches. Seb, you were a real highlight today. I've got to point that out because you have not put a foot wrong in 90 minutes. No, I weren't far off that. Not a foot wrong. I mean, that takes some fucking doing, right? That takes some, I can't remember you losing the ball in 90 minutes. You know what I mean? And he's got a bloke up his arse the whole game. You know, different class, Seb, I'll be honest, right? It is only 3 points. League table don't look good. Fuck me, we've gone all the way down to fucking all sorts because of the goal difference, right? But it's one game. Management team will learn from it. You know, maybe if we're going to be brave and go man for man defending, you know, we've got to make sure we're playing, you know, more defence-minded players probably. But when you're winning games on a good run, you do tend to fucking back yourselves. And, you know, in that respect, I wouldn't change it. I've got to take the biggest responsibility of that today, 100%. 100%, but I'll learn from that. I need to learn from that. I said, we need to learn from that. We need to think, right, we'll go away to fucking Gateshead in a big fucking stadium, and yeah, we might be playing well, but do you know what? They're going to press the fuck out of us. We're away from home. We'll have 29 fans. They'll have fucking 2,000. Actually, let's just settle down, overload defensively, you know, playing out and defensively. You know, if a mortgage was on it, in fact, fuck the mortgage, if a tenner was on it, you'd play differently. But like I said, shared responsibility, okay? Don't enjoy the defeat, but don't be too beaten up, because I've asked a lot of the back three. I've asked a lot of you today. All right, get the kit in the right way. We're sort of sightseeing this season. We hope to surprise and do really well. So I'm not going to excuse a bad decision, but, you know, if we were sort of in the top three and we're absolutely trying to win the division, probably away from home you play a bit differently, but we are learning. There's no way of dressing it up. I got it. I made a bad decision. You know, playing a back three, they was always going to be man for man with us.
Well, I think you could see it today on the pitch. I mean, Dorking liked to play. We knew that before they came. They give very little respect to the opposition. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. They're going to play their way no matter what. And we're very similar to that, but we've learned some hard lessons in this division. And that's what can happen if you don't pay your opposition enough respect. You can be on the wrong end of the result. I know it can go the right way as well. But when you're finding your feet in a division, I think that's the biggest lesson that we learn in terms of just having a look at the opposition and making sure that we weren't going to be on the receiving end of that. And we're still a work in progress. We've had them results, but them results today have come against like Solihull and teams who are going to be going for promotion. So it's a big balance in this division. There's some very, very good teams, but there's a lot of teams that are full-time, that work exceptionally hard, like ourselves, and each week you've got to be absolutely at it, otherwise you get found out.
Bad decision to play a back three. Bad decision to play that back three because they were poor. They were very poor. They had to defend brilliantly, and they had to play forward quickly. They done neither. And the minute we gave ourselves an overload at the back and went to a back four, the game obviously changed. We had some good moments, you know. But, you know, even in the 90 minutes, their goalie's got man of the match, which shows you that we've done loads of things well in high areas, but we were just let down by what I thought was a woeful defence. And I'm taking responsibility, but they were fucking shit.
Yeah, I think it was tough for everyone. It was, yeah, not a good scoreline at all. And we've played a lot better, and I've watched the team play a lot better. So lots to work on. But as the gaffer said in there, it's only 3 points.
Yeah, I think we just executed our game plan really well. So we were very disciplined in our press. So we knew that they would take risks at the back, and how we worked on that on Thursday and Friday in particular, the lads were able to execute it. So where I'm saying about giving respect, they're a newly promoted team, they've been scoring freely. We give them the respect they were due in terms of understanding how we were going to play against their shape and their key players. And as I said, I felt that's what we did much better than them on the day, and we were able to execute, and we did today what we've not been doing. We've had them types of opportunities, and we haven't been punishing teams.
I think it's difficult. I think it's a combination of they played really well and pressed really high, and some of the patterns of play which we've been working on didn't come off today. And I think we played a bit long at times, which didn't suit us. And then when they get the first couple of goals, we're obviously pressing for another two, so we have to get back in the game, and then they score at the end. We
can't afford to keep saying we're learning. That's what I would say. I think today's my final day that I'm going to say I learned. I won't gamble in future games this year, no chance. You can get your asses smacked a little bit in this division, so we better watch out. Do you know what I mean?
We rely heavily on our audience to help spread the word, so we need you to keep doing that for us and also hitting like and subscribe and leaving a comment. Speaking of which, this week's comment of the week comes from Gareth Gaz, who says, "I'm going to go and watch my local non-league side for the first time because of this channel." That's so lovely to hear, Gareth Gaz.